So the problem we run into here in Oklahoma is that our ground is pretty much clay. Doesn't have very many nutrients. It doesn't drain very well, and especially in our yard, it's not very level. So what we do that makes it much easier to grow vegetables is we make raised beds. Plus, when you have raised beds, they're easy to cover, as you can see over there. So what we're going to do is we're going to build raised bed gardens, and it turns out they're easy to build, they're cheap to make, and it's a fun project even if you don't have any experience with carpentry. All right, so we're making our raised bed out of these deck boards that we got from the local hardware store. Yeah. They're 5/4 inch by 6 inch, and they're actually pretty small. But we're going to be putting the raised beds just on top of the ground, so it doesn't need to be that high. It just needs to be high enough to have some good dirt and be able to let the water drain out of it. Now, since I'm not a carpenter, I let the local hardware store cut these to 6 feet and 3 feet each. So these are the boards that we're going to be using for our project. Okay, so this is our raised bed. As you can see, it's just a few pieces of wood. Our raised bed is 6 foot by 3 foot. So you can also do them 8 foot by 4 foot. Those are probably the two most popular sizes. So basically it's a 6 foot piece of wood. It's 2 6-foot pieces of wood and 3 3-foot pieces of wood. And all you do is you screw 2 holes on every edge, and we're going to use a drill to drill out the holes first, and then we're going to screw through them. What we're going to be doing is just drilling some basic holes. They're called pilot holes for our screws to go through. Okay. And the most important thing is to have your drill bit smaller than your screw. And so basically if you put your screw on top of your drill bit, you should not see your drill bit. So the nice thing about raised beds is that you don't have to be exact on anything. You can just kind of go with your gut. You don't really have to measure. You just drill and go, and if it's not exactly right, it'll all be okay. So here we go. Okay, so now that we've got the pilot hole drilled, we're going to drill in the screw. Alright, so here we go. We're going to now drill we're going to screw the screw through the pilot hole, and then when it comes out the other side, we're going to connect it to our pilot hole in the other board.
That's what we are going to do.
So there it comes out. We're going to connect it, join it up to our pilot hole in the other board. Okay, so what we're going to do, since this board is 6 feet long, we're going to measure 3 feet and mark where we want the center of that next board to be. Okay. So there's the 3 foot mark. So we're going to mark right there. And as I said, this doesn't need to be exact. If the structure is uneven, the plants really won't care. Okay.
Huh?
Now we've got our board here ready to go. We've got our drill bit in, and we need to pull and make sure that there's enough room to drill. We'll put the board flush against the other one, and then just kind of eyeball this.
it looks like at the end.
Alright, so now we have one side of our raised bed finished, and now it's time to put in the other side. Now what we're going to do, if you notice, this board is kind of bent, and that's alright, we didn't need great wood anyway. We simply used treated pine wood for this project, and we used the lowest grade possible because, well, I don't like to spend money. So anyway, so this board has a bit of a bend in it, and so what we're going to do is we're going to start by attaching this board on the top here, and then we're going to build this. If you notice, this doesn't quite connect. So we're going to, after we attach this board, we're going to pull this side in to connect. And so we're going to start out up here. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to measure 3 feet on this side.
3.
And that's going to tell us right where we need this board to go.
And then he needs to get the board all lined up. And you should see a screw going through.
Alright, so now that we've got this middle one in, you'll notice that it's already pulling these boards closer together. So it's almost exactly where we need to finish up. So first what we're going to do is we're going to drill a hole in this one.
So that's his little drill bit.
I think you're doing fine. Now these boards are together, so we can just drill our final screw hole. Alright, and here's our final screw.
These sticks are sharp.
Alright, and now we can just put this raised bed where it goes. When we actually are ready to plant it, we'll probably put some newspaper down to make sure everything under it gets killed, but so the plant's roots can still penetrate it. Then we'll fill it with dirt, and we'll plant it, and it'll be all ready to go. The wood for this project only cost about $15. It's a pretty cheap project to do. So, hope you have fun making your raised bed, and I hope it helps you make even better vegetables.